In today's video, we're going to talk about why your vision board isn't working and what you have to do to actually make it work for you. I'm going to talk about the mistakes that I learned when I was creating my vision boards, but I cannot stress how important it is to make sure so you don't have to experience the pain and frustration that I did. Mistake number one is you just put too much. Like, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. When we're starting to make a vision board, it's really exciting because we're like, yeah, like I want a dream car, I want a mansion, like why not? Of course I want $1 million. That sounds awesome. And it can be really fun and overwhelming when we're just getting started. I know when you get the scissors and the tape and the glue, things can get out of hand. If you have a vision board that's like pretty and aesthetic, but it does nothing for you and it does nothing for your goals, it's really not serving anyone. When I say you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, you're not being clear. You're not being specific on the ideas and goals that you have for your life. It's really fun to have a bunch of magazines and cut out like different women in the magazines. When you're creating a vision board, I do not recommend magazines at all. I recommend Pinterest and Google because you can get more specific into what you actually want to see for your life. If your vision board is just cute cutouts from magazines that you're like, yeah, like I could see that for me, it's probably not going to work for you because it's not specific to you. You need to take time before you even touch a glue stick to really ask yourself, what are my goals? Where am I going? What is important to me? Are you trying to grow YouTube? Are you trying to get your degree for school? Like, what are the actual goals that you have for your life that are specific to you? It's nice to put on your vision board, like be like Oprah or buy a Lamborghini, but what do you actually want? Make sure that the things that you're going to put on your board actually resonate with you. And don't you dare put something on that board just because it's kind of cute. The second vision board mistake that I ran into was I wasn't connecting with the board that I had made. Visualization is really powerful because it gets your emotions involved and it can get you excited about your goals. However, if you have a vision board that's totally random, you're probably not going to get very excited about the thing that you made because it looks cute, but there's no real emotional connection going on. I have a couple pieces of advice for how you can connect with your vision board. Tip number one is to include images that don't include faces. On one of my vision boards, I had like motherhood or being a mom. I put like the baby hands or the baby toes. Another example I had on my vision board is I wanted to increase intimacy with my husband. To represent that, I had pictures of couples, but you couldn't see their faces, but like an intimate hug or just like hands or arms. I mean, it sounds kind of weird when I'm explaining it, but when you're seeing the pictures, I'm sure you'll understand. So what you're essentially trying to capture is the emotion, what you want to experience, because that's what makes visualization powerful, is when you're connecting your future and your goals with an actual mood that you want to feel. When you have your emotions intertwined with what you want your future to look like, it's way more powerful than just having a goal and being like, cool. Going along with that, my second piece of advice for seeing yourself in your vision board is to strictly include images that look like you or you can see yourself in. Now, on my vision board, here are some examples. It's this woman and she's tan and she has brown hair. She kind of has my body type. She looks like me. That's powerful because when you set yourself up against these standards of these girls that don't even look like you, of course you're gonna be disappointed. Of course it's not gonna work out for you because it's literally impossible unless you're getting all types of surgery for you to look like her. If you're setting realistic goals and you're actually putting people on your board that resemble you, you're more likely to see yourself in your future. One of my vision board examples was for yoga. These images right here. So she's doing a downward dog. You can't see her face, but like I think she resembles me. And this woman right here, this is another example of capturing emotion. So her expression, like I just want to embody that. I want to feel that. What she's feeling in this photo, I want to feel that too. So I think that putting powerful images on your vision board that infuses emotion into it is way more powerful than just slapping on random magazine girls that you think like, they're cute. Like, sure, they're cute, but that vision board's not gonna do jack diddly squat for you if you can't see yourself in it. So when you're making a vision board, really be on the hunt for women who look like you and who carry and embody the emotion that you want. It's better to have a vision board with 5 photos than to have one with 25 that are just kind of random, okay? Okay. Now, my next piece of advice is something I had to learn the hard way, and Lord knows I'm very stubborn, is to make sure you're in a good mindset. There's a reason why guided visualization videos have that time of calm and breathing before they get into the actual practice. And that reason is to get you in a relaxed state. The big mistake that I made, and you might be making yourself, is when you're looking at your vision board, like you're in a rush or you're just glancing at it, or you're looking at your vision board when you're stressed out or emotionally drained. And what you're trying to do by using your vision board, you're trying to create an experience. If you struggle with anxiety like me, if you don't take the time to calm your mind, your brain's association with this goal is going to be negative. This tip alone will literally change visualization for you, but I cannot stress how important it is to make sure your mind is calm, to make sure your mind is clear, and that you are not focusing on other things. Have a set time of the day, maybe in the morning before anyone's awake or at night before you go to bed. You need to make this time sacred and really practice dedicating this time to using your vision board. When I would spend time with my vision board, I would call it I'm visiting my future. So use your time to visit with your future. Use your vision board and really, really work on reducing that anxiety. When you stand in front of your vision board, maybe take 10 deep breaths to clear your mind. Put your vision board in a place where you feel calm or you feel relaxed, or like maybe the weight of the day hasn't hit you yet. So light a candle, listen to that calming like music. I'll put some of the music in the description. I know for me, I would get so impatient with the guided visualizations when they were like, breathe deeply, calm your mind, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I would get very impatient for that. But I never realized how important those moments were, because it's calming your mind and it's preparing you to retain what you're visualizing more. So if you go into your visualization and you are stressed out and anxious, when you're thinking about your goal, you are going to be stressed out and anxious, and your vision board is not going to work. Straight up, dude. Trust me, I've been there. And do your absolute best to just focus on what you're doing. Focus on your visualization. It will make all the difference, I swear. Okay, I've enlisted the help of my friend. Isn't he adorable? The fourth mistake that I made when it came to my vision board is I was putting too much pressure on it. I would look at my vision board, would see it, and I would get stressed out. I would feel anxious that I hadn't accomplished those goals yet. For example, one of my goals was to get 1 million downloads for my podcast, which, yes, that's a really great and ambitious goal, but I didn't even have 100,000 downloads. So for me, a more realistic goal would have been like to get 20,000 downloads on the podcast. Yes, 1 million downloads is like sexy and exciting, but when you have goals that are like so high and so overwhelming, your mind starts to freak out a little bit because it doesn't believe that you can actually do it. And my vision board actually became really toxic for me because it opened the door for a negative conversation with me to me. So it was like 1 million downloads, yeah, cool, awesome. But then I would see that every single day, and then my brain would go like, Serena, why haven't you done that yet? Like, you said you were going to. Why aren't you there? Like, that's gonna take so long to get there. You need to be really careful when you're putting your goals on your vision board, because it can also be a diving board for very toxic talk against yourself. Having a vision board that has your goals that are specific is great, but also at the same time, your brain knows when it's like, okay, like 1 million downloads, that's kind of crazy. But if you notice that there's a toxic mentality going on in your head, that's when you know it's time to change up your vision board, maybe rewrite some of those goals that are a little bit closer to what you can achieve right now. And in the future, definitely include that on your board. But if when you're looking at your board, it facilitates a toxic conversation with yourself, that's how you know it's time to change or rewrite or glue on something else onto that board. Okay, on to the next. I was born in the dark, he says. Hello. The last mistake when it comes to creating your vision board is maybe it's time to say goodbye to those goals. The reality of life is it's constantly shifting and evolving, and sometimes with some goals, we grow out of them. I had this goal on my vision board, and it was my podcast. And what happened was I had this goal and it was on my vision board for so long, and in the past I had visualized about it, but over time I felt a disconnect. Like that goal didn't align with who I wanted to be anymore. That goal didn't align with the future that I wanted to go, and I just had it on my vision board because I felt like I had to. And so a mistake that you might be making is keeping a goal on your board past its time. It's okay that our goals change. It's okay because you're changing every single day as a person. And there is a time when you need to look at your vision board and assess, like, okay, does this still fit me? Is this still true for me? We are human. Things change about us. It's okay to pivot and say goodbye to a part of you, of a dream or an idea that you had. So if that is you, if there was something in your life that like once was a dream and now like you just don't feel connected with it, you don't feel inspired with it, it's okay to take it off your vision board, to reset, create a new vision board if you have to. It's okay. People change. It's okay to change. Let me know if any of those are helpful for you, or if you hear part of your story in any of the things that I mentioned. Vision boards are amazing. They're powerful, like they're life-changing, absolutely. But there are like roadblocks that you can run into, and I have ran into many of them. If you'd like to see a video on how I make vision boards, or me walking you through how to make a very specific vision board, comment and let me know. Let me know in the comments if you are experiencing any of these roadblocks now. If you're like listening to this and you're like, yo, Serena, I think you're actually talking to me. Let me know if that's you. If this video was helpful for you, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you're staying in my world and YouTube knows like, hey, this is good stuff, okay? Again, I'm Serena Hess. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video next week.
I am Groot.